Can you tell when I'm recording?
Yeah, it says in the top corner.
There's recording. It's bait. I'm wrote some notes somewhere. Yeah, just a few. Just me and you, baby.
Yeah.
And the whole internet.
So you're gonna chop this up?
Yeah, we're going to chop this up into how do we get here? How did Steam Deck convert our business into a remote team building company in 1 month?
Yeah.
So without dilly-dallying, as you like to say, what do we do? What happened? How do we get here? So
coronavirus hit.
mm-hmm.
Started getting all of our in-person events getting cancelled, postponed, and we decided we had to do something different if we're gonna stay in this game.
So we had loads of bookings in mid-March, and they just started saying we have to hold off. Or we have to start signing like health and safety waivers, and then suddenly they said no. And then I was thinking, we just have to put loads of disinfectant on everything every turn. It'll be fine. There'll be people who are still going to do this. And then I started to worry. And then it must have been about the 10th to the 14th of March. We're like, this isn't gonna stick around.
Yeah, I think people were kind of like wary of it, but no one was ready to actually do anything about it. And then we started getting like seeing the first cases, and that's when people started to really be hesitant.
Yeah, and then booking started to fall through in terms of inquiries. Do you remember the date? So you and I started talking about ideas. It must have been like the 12th. I think it was around then. It was around the second weekend of March. We started talking about some more ideas. And then we were thinking about doing virtual reality remote. So you'd go into like VR, and then we'd run the team building session in VR for people to spend time together.
Yeah, we ended up trying all these kinds of different like social VR apps and stuff. Like, did we try Rec Room? Was it the first one?
It was Meet in VR. We tried AltSpace.
AltSpace, yeah, that's the one.
That was a fun experience. Getting trolled.
Do you remember the coronavirus scientist giving like a lecture to all these people?
Yeah. What was that in AltSpace as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You
could see like people in VR putting their hands up and stuff, trying to ask questions.
For those watching, we were in AltSpace, and they had a scientist giving a lecture about what was happening as it was unfolding. There were like really worried people like raising their hands, asking questions, so that was our initial test. And then we were thinking about what can we do with 2D video. So we had nothing but time, didn't we? We just had no other work other than we've got to work out what we're going to do now.
Yeah.
So that must have been as lockdown started I think that's the 23rd of March.
Yeah, it must have been around that time.
So the reason we're making this video is because we've come out the other side and we've got a new team building event. But I thought it'd be interesting for people and for us to even articulate to ourselves what our process has been and the journey we've been on, the stress of it, the whole shebang. So how do we go about this? How do we start creating a new remote product from scratch?
Well, like we said, we knew that we couldn't do anything in person anymore. So we tried to pivot to virtual reality events. And then we decided that the logistics of sending out headsets to people was going to be too complicated. And then we decided to look at what other people were doing in terms of team building. And that's how we started to develop our own virtual event, basically.
Yeah. So I tried to get a booking with teambuilding.com.
Yeah.
I might cut that bit out of the video. I tried to get a building with another remote team building
We
company.
tried to knock off like everyone around us.
We basically just tried to see if we could do a remote team building session with another company. And so we did like an intro call with them just to see what they had to offer. And we would do it with our team at Steamed Egg. And we'd learn from what they were doing, whether we liked certain things, how to run it. But they were so busy already that we didn't even have a chance to do it. So we never even ended up doing that.
I think maybe even before that, we had to like sit down with each other and just be like, what kind of event are we trying to create?
Yeah.
In this sort of new space that we've never really been before.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we ever specifically wrote a brief down.
No, we didn't do a brief, but we just sat down and we were like, okay, what things would people want to do? What kind of events could we actually deliver?
Yeah. I think our underlying philosophy was it can't be naff. I know it's really vague, but I think you and I both picked up a feeling for what is going to give you that excitement and that feeling of this is an experience. This is like a thing that we're participating in and it's really grabs your attention. I think we needed something that was going to really pull you into the competition, really pull you into
and it wasn't just like generic. It wasn't just some standard quiz that you like popped on call for like an hour or 45 minutes and then you left.
Yeah. And I think we were looking for stuff that people haven't done before. And it wasn't obvious that I think if we're going to be doing this for people, it had to be something that they couldn't initially have easily thought of themselves.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that they can't think of it. It's just that it took us a month to create and refine all these ideas. So I think
we wanted it to be value for money, basically, as well.
Yeah, exactly. It had to look like, okay, these guys have put a lot of thought into it, as opposed to we had some ideas that were rubbish, like flipping coins, and we should actually talk about all the stuff that didn't make it. I think we've got a list of the archive. Let me see if I can put up some examples of stuff that didn't make it. So we made a list of everything we could think of that was half even worth mentioning. I think we must have had about a dozen ideas, maybe more.
Yeah, definitely went for a bunch.
Let me read them out real quick.
Well, we had the object game. I think we've kind of removed that out of the idea pool.
Yeah, we had an idea to basically run around the house and get objects.
I think initially that was one of our that
was our staple.
That's one of the ideas that we thought would be better to get people up and active within their house.
On paper, it sounds like a great idea to run around the house, but actually, the reality is that you're coming to the computer to be with your team. So to leave is a bit,
Yeah, exactly. I think that's something that we kept at the front of our minds the whole way through our creative process, was that it has to be something that brings people together, not just physically or virtually, but in a way that actually feels like they learn more about each other.
Yeah. I think we wanted that to be part of it, so they feel like they knew each other better. So I'm just looking at some of these ideas that we had. Baby picture, guess who?
Baby picture, guess who?
Yeah,
I remember that one.
Potentially a bit contentious about just firing loads of pictures of babies around.
Even finding the picture, I think, was going to be hard.
Yeah. Noughts and crosses battleship style thing. Bit messy, a bit clunky.
A bit boring.
It's not something that I think it's too easy to think about that yourself. As I'm saying, that could be quite fun though.
I think the battleships could be fun
if you do it properly. I think one of the things we learned with all these remote games is that the execution has to be really streamlined. It can't be. because you get awkward pauses if you've got even 10 seconds, 10 seconds, it really jars the whole thing. So the detail has to be so precisely worked out, and it has to be really simple for people to click on links and move about. We had one called Team Meme. I'll put a screenshot of that in a sec on, and the idea was that you would all jump on, do a screenshot, and then make a meme. Why did we stop that one?
We stopped that one because we felt as though it was too complicated for people to be switching between different like browsers and stuff, taking pictures and editing. We wanted to keep it nice and streamlined, put like a lower workload on our guests. Like I think when we tried it, it was fun, but it did get a bit clunky, moving images around and putting text on and stuff.
Yeah. It's also just the force people to come up with creative ideas on the spot can be hit and miss, because if you've got people who either feel a bit uncomfortable or they're not ready, they're not up for it, then that could fall flat on its face. Whereas other games you've come up with, they don't require a spark of inspiration for it to actually work.
Yeah, and I think it just maybe within the theme that we ended up with, it didn't work the best.
Other stuff we've looked at, karaoke.
Yeah, I think we might still come back to the karaoke. Maybe I don't know.
That could be a whole thing itself.
Yeah,
that could literally be like evening event, just get people drunk.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Ian Buckley, coming at you from Steam Deck.
What's up, guys?
What's up? Smash that like button, hit subscribe, put notifications on, and we'll have more videos for you every week, just like this.
Let's dive in.
This video is sponsored by Kleenex.
Another couple of rubbish games. We had charades, game of fives, dude, like that.
How do you even play that?
You go, you have to go, so on three, and then so go one up. Do 1, 2, 3? Okay, 1, 2, 3, then you show. And you have to guess what it's going to be. So 1, ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 5. No, you either do 5 or 0.
Oh, okay. I thought you could do any number between.
No.
Okay.
You do 5 or 0.
So what? How do you win?
Well, because you basically get start 2 hands each.
And then what?
And then you go 10, 15, 20, 0.
Oh.
And the last hand standing is the loser.
Yeah. Now that's yeah.
People have seen it all before. So a lot of the stuff that we thought of, people have seen it all before.
And you could definitely do that one just by yourself.
Yeah. So once we whittled the list of ideas down, that must have taken us about a week, maybe slightly more.
Maybe a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it was a couple of weeks, and by the end of the second week, I think we booked in our first event with our friends, some of my friends, and we basically just said, we've got these ideas. You and I had run through how we're going to do them, top line, and just we literally just dived in.
Yeah,
I think that's gone.
I think that's part of how we managed to maybe turn it around quite quickly, which is just like test everything as much as you can and see what sticks and what doesn't.
Yeah.
Thinking about it for so long.
Yeah, I would say we were drastically underprepared for the first one, which is in a way quite good because it means that while it wasn't the most professional, we knew what we were going to do, but we didn't know the detail of what we were going to say. We didn't know the detail of how we were going to deliver it. I think the willingness to just test is probably something I don't think we were consciously doing it. We just knew we had to move fast because otherwise what else is there to do?
I think we knew that time was of the essence because of the nature of the lockdown and the virus and stuff.
And it still is, because there's potential to say we'd have pivoted the business, but everybody could go back to work, and And then we've got a remote product that isn't really in demand because everyone's in the office and want to spend time with each other. And the risk is that won't be able to do VR because people won't be doing face-to-face, but people won't be doing remote events. Time will tell. That's a risk. I think there will be a market for people who have teams across different regions or different countries that want to collaborate and spend time with each other. And I think there's a whole market for this. So hopefully we haven't missed a boat, and this will be a long-standing event that we can do for people to help them feel connected, across different regions. So I think it has legs beyond coronavirus.
Well, I think after this whole situation, I think the nature of working from home would have changed, and people's attitudes towards it. People probably might be doing it more than they used to.
Yeah, there's a strong case to say you only need to meet up once a week or once every 2 weeks just to run through some meetings. Be really interesting to see how that pans out for people. For anyone who made it this far into the video, I'd be interested to see how long you think how often you think you'll go back to the office, if you think it's going to go back quickly. So how do you feel like this is going to change your attitude to remote working? At Steam Egg, we you and I were talking about getting an office as like the be all and end all, weren't we?
Yeah.
And maybe we just need a meeting space that we go to once a week.
Possibly.
Not sold.
I don't know. I like the idea of having an office. Is all.
Yeah, we don't know. So do I, though.
I don't know. It is nice to see your colleagues, but I guess not everyone's role is going to be needed in the office. So
yeah. And then what else did we do?
And then we decided to. From then we decided to make like a checklist of all the things that actually needed to be done to make it a reality.
Yeah. I'll share my screen and just show you some of the stuff that I think show some behind the scenes. So I think the biggest thing that you and I have learned is the process of going loads of ideas, whittling them down, chucking ourselves in and testing it, and then documenting that properly so that we have a play-by-play, which we have never been that organised in the past with our face-to-face events. Let me share it with. We're now using Notion, and we've got bit by bit every part of the phone call with sound. Sound in there. We've got do this bit. Like everything's got a checklist. We've got templates.
Looking at your emails now.
Huh?
I'm looking at your emails, I think now.
Oh, all right. Let's say that again.
But don't show them everything.
No, I won't. Just show it. All right, say that bit again. So you and I, we've actually never been this organised. So we've literally got play by play of everything, how it has to. So that's a huge learning for us, is all the other products we create in the future, that process of creation through to refinement, testing it, and then committing to those ideas with a process of how to deliver that. And that might sound obvious to a lot of people who have been through that, but for us, just like having that clarity has probably been a bit of a game changer, because we can now apply that to loads of different ideas. Do you think
I think it also like challenged our level of communication, because I think we've really had to like increase the level of contact that, even though we're not with each other, but like our communication has actually improved. we're talking to each other more. Like,
Yeah.
what are you working on? What am I working on?
Yeah.
And we just like work together to like get it so we can start delivering stuff.
Yeah, I agree. And we've also got every week, what were you working on? What am I working on? At the end of the week, we could see how we were doing. I think we can still get better at that, at reviewing our week on a Friday versus our expectations on a Monday. Because we set out with Monday with clarity, but I don't think we check back in on where we got to. Even though actually I think we're achieving everything we're setting out to do by and large, I think we could still be better at checking in and reviewing our progress and looking at where we could improve even more. What would you say are the things that we could have done better at on this process? Or where do you think we fell short?
I don't know. I feel like at the beginning we're just getting used to like being in communication with each other. So I think if we were to do it again, we'd have like a better system for talking to each other, making sure we know like we're both on the same page. Maybe the sense of urgency we could improve if we did it again.
Yeah, I felt that too at the time. Looking back, I feel like we've achieved a lot, but we probably could have done it faster. If we had been
maybe just more focused.
Yeah.
Maybe not getting so distracted by all the possibilities. Like,
I think the different directions is part of that creative process. I think we probably could have gone through that process faster with regards to we're going to do this by this day, and just moving through those steps. I think while we were moving fast, I think we were quite relaxed while we were doing it.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like part of that is a good thing as well, which is that we didn't panic.
We weren't stressed. Yeah. We were fairly calm. I think it's part of you and I as a character. But, then again, as I say, a month later, we've come up with a whole new concept. We've tested it. We've got case studies. So we could have done it faster, but I don't think.
And I think the key point, one of the key things that helped us get to this stage is that we were really open to feedback and we implemented the feedback quite quickly. So we were always making it better.
Yeah.
We didn't like take any feedback personally or anything like that.
Yeah. I think something I could have done was share our journey more on LinkedIn and share that journey more on our other social channels, just to almost to let people know what's going on, to keep on the radar. I think we were very focused on what we were doing. We were thinking of ideas, so didn't want to get too distracted on posting. But I could have definitely done a better job at keeping other people in the loop about what we've been up to.
Yeah.
Hence this video. Hence sort of letting people into our last month or so. But yeah, I think that was a criticism I give to myself. That's it, really. I suppose. Do you think we did enough testing?
Yeah, we did quite a lot of testing.
Yeah, we've tested it to a point where it's running smoothly. So I suppose so.
I think if we were to say like what kind of stage we're in right now, it'd be more like a polishing stage now. We're not really trying to rework the underlying structure of the event anymore. We're more trying to just like put that last bit of sheen on what we have.
Last bit I've got here, last few bits. What was our mindset? What would you say your mindset was? Did you feel like this was a lost cause? Did you lose faith? Did you always have faith? Where was your head at through the process of the last month?
Well, I was a bit worried, but I trusted that I trusted you basically. I knew that you could pull it out for us.
Thanks.
I knew that you had like a good head on your shoulders, and you'd be good at guiding us through this tough situation. That's what I was sure of. But it
Nice
took
one.
me
Thank you.
took me a bit of time to maybe get used to the idea of a virtual event in my mind. And I was a bit worried about how people would maybe react to that idea. But as the time went on and we started developing it, I'm definitely super confident in what we have now. But
That's
yeah,
cool. Thanks, man.
I was never really worried because I know you got my back.
Thank you. Yeah, I wasn't. I was never worried about what we'd do because fortunately, it wasn't really me sitting down and thinking, but it just came to me that we could do a VR remote, and then it sort of accidentally transpired in that process that we could do a video remote event, and I searched for it and found one. So I knew if that's what we wanted to do, we could do it.
Yeah, I think your strong leadership pushed us through this tough time.
Oh, mate, thank you.
Yeah.
Might have to cut that out. It's a bit too much for this video. I really appreciate that. I think back at you, like I knew that you and I are really good at coming up with ideas. That's like if nothing else, we can come up with ideas for days. So when we put our head to it, I think I wasn't worried about that. I think my biggest worry has been, are we doing it fast enough? And is it actually good? There's always just a question you have in your mind, I suppose. But once we started doing it for people, I think we knew that we had something good. So I mean, to answer the question I asked you, like mindset for me was, I write myself like I repeat I call it a memorandum. It's like this is what I'm doing at the moment. Sort of this is where we're going, and I just as soon as I change that to be about this and be about remote and coming through it, and just firmly believe that, then I knew we'd be fine. Like
Yeah.
determination. We've got got someone very intelligent like yourself actually coming up with great ideas. So I don't think I was worried about how we end up. I think it was just about the time
Yeah.
to get here.
I think if I was to reword what I said, if that fits too much for the video, then I'd say it's because I think we knew that we work well together.
Yeah.
That together we could create something good and new.
Mm. And rather than this be just about us, if we were to give that advice to other people, what message would we give to other people if they're pivoting their businesses and trying to come up with new ideas?
I'd say just work with your team, listen. I think listening to feedback and people's any ideas that get thrown at you, everything is valuable. And to have faith in the people around you.
Nice. I think but putting ideas to customers is or even friends and family and testing stuff out is a big one. And finding people who test stuff for free for you and give you feedback is the biggest thing we've been doing, really, isn't it? We're just coming up with ideas and saying this is good. I think it's working backwards from a problem. So people at home bored is the problem we're solving now.
Yeah, like trying to understand what problem you're fixing with whatever you're doing.
Yeah. So I suppose even if you were in events, it's like, how can you create that event experience? I suppose we ask ourselves a lot of questions as well. One thing I've been doing, just as a side tip, I've been journaling a lot. I've been writing every day, just spieling, and that really helps just unload what's in your head, especially during this time. If you're either working in a position of responsibility or you just got a lot in your head, just writing every day, just letting things come out. Even if it's not about your work, what I'm finding it does is it's just sort of like clears everything out. So I've got headspace to focus on
Yeah,
work as well.
that's what I've been doing as well in my little notebook.
Nice. Yeah, I think clearing your head with just brain dumping is a really healthy practice. And it's new, so I'm looking forward to getting even better at that. Let me see. I think that's the main questions are on the cover. What happens if? What's the best case for this? What happens if? Yeah, what's the best case for us? What's the best case for coronavirus and our customers?
Best case is that customers through our events maybe feel as though they're still connected as if they were in the office, even though they're all separate and at home right now. Maybe to take people's minds off this difficult time, help people relax and be calm, and yeah, just getting through this time together, making sure we're working together.
Yeah. How have you been staying healthy, staying happy, or have you been?
Well, I think everyone's having their bad days, but I think if you just find a new normal, because like you say a lot, it's a marathon, not a sprint, and just stick with whatever new habits. I've actually gotten some new habits from this, which is like maybe to going for a walk or something. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gone on, or a new breakfast meal that I probably wouldn't have eaten before. The thing that makes you feel a bit more sane.
Yeah.
What about you?
Big one for me been exercising every day because I've got time to do it. Really enjoying that. Got some new headphones. If anyone's looking for some headphones, these Jaybird Vistas are unbelievable. Jaybird aren't sponsoring this video, but these headphones are game changers. So
How much a day?
£125. But literally life changing, especially if you like electronic music.
Lots of video games.
Have you got good headphones?
No, mine broke.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm actually looking for them right now, like a new pair.
Okay. So yeah, big new headphones is music, just keeping me happy. Exercise keeping me happy, and Notion is keeping me happy, and writing every day, and then putting things into Notion. If anyone doesn't know, Notion is the new project management tool that we've been using. It's been around for a while, but we're on Monday, moved to Notion, and it's like business and personal. It's just like a second brain. It's amazing. So it's genuinely making me happy just to have like a proper system on my computer. And all right, final thoughts. I'll go first. I keep asking you to go first.
Okay.
So my final thoughts would be, I'm excited about this new remote side of our business. I think that there's some really cool possibilities beyond just yoking from home. So I think yoking from home is the first one. I'm really interested in us looking at an environmentally focused one for people. That's something along the lines of a sustainability narrative. I don't really know what it is. It's just in my mind vaguely. I think there's loads of options. We could potentially look at just like a basic animation one. That would be quite cool, like an animation workshop.
Yeah.
We could look at some movie making workshops. We're just giving all our ideas away to the internet, but ideas are worth nothing, so it doesn't matter. And I think it's a really interesting part of company culture that we never thought about that we could be helping with. And there are thousands of companies already remote that we never would have served before that we can now be working with. And there are many teams that will be staying remote or become much more remote. And So it's exciting for us to be able to actually do something for those people and help them keep their team culture going strong while they're not together. Anything? What do you reckon I'm most excited about?
Yeah, I've actually enjoyed a little bit of this time coming up with something new.
Yeah,
Flexing my creative muscles, and I'd say after maybe an initial panic, you can turn a bad situation into a good one. And if you feel like a bit down or you feel a bit worried, I'd say switch on Netflix and watch Tiger King.
yeah, that's crazy. Definitely, I think most of the people have already done that by now.
Yeah.
But if you haven't, definitely do it. Yeah, I think the last thing you just said is a good point. If you have to listen for the opportunity, you almost have to just like stop for a second and say, how's this situation? Well, it doesn't have to be corona related at any point. Something happens, you got to find the positive by just like stopping and listening and just actually spending time thinking as well.
Yeah. Turn some of your weaknesses into a strength. That's what Michael Jordan said.
Turn the weaknesses into a strength.
I'm watching that other Netflix show about Michael Jordan.
That sounds great. I need to watch that. Is it a series?
Yeah, he's it's like this time where they spent with him in like his earlier days before he was at it like documents his journey from like his college days to the Bulls.
Oh wow! So people were like keeping an eye on him from early on.
Yeah, but people back then didn't really see him as a contender, and he basically, it's like a really good example of if you work harder than everyone else around you, then you become great. Because he just, like, everyone was writing him off. Like, the Bulls weren't that good before he showed up, and no one said that one man could turn around a team. And he was like, I'm going to work harder than anyone else. And they pretty much like attribute their success to him, basically.
Wow. It's a bit like Kobe was like that, right?
I'm not sure so much about Kobe, but I definitely want to start watching basketball now.
Nice. That sounds like a great little nugget to finish on, to be honest with you. That's cool, man. I think we've got some good clips there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll edit it out.
How long is it going to be?
I
feel like we could have like, you know how you wanted to check in every single week? We could just do like a little podcast like this every single week. And we can just like shoot the shit. And then you could like put up like Steam Deck talks. And then you put like Netflix, working remotely and stuff. And it becomes like this.
Yeah.
Casual.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. I need to get a mic though.
Well, we just need to do it on. Do you mean that you and I just do like a summary, or do we find guests? Because we can mix it up.
We could do guests. Well, it's just like we come on, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like fully business talk, but like obviously be framed around like business. But obviously we'll like talk about like what we've watched on Netflix, like anything that we did that week. Do you know what I mean? That we think is relevant.
Yeah, there's a company doing this really well. Clownfish events, and they've got a weekly video stream of things they're up to.
Yeah, I think we should do that because I quite enjoy talking like this.
Yeah,
and I feel like the more we do it, the more natural and good we'll become at it.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we can just chop up the best bits and then.
Yeah. And so it could be like our show about what's going on in our business and also things we're learning as we're doing our job, things we're learning about company culture, things we're learning about making events.
And it will cement some ideas, some shared ideas in both our heads because we're like recalling it to each other.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a really good point. What do you think we should call it?
We should call it
Steam Stream.
Yeah, I like that already.
The thing is that
Well, it sounds like Steam, doesn't it?
yeah. Uh, well, the newsletter on our website is called the Runny Yolk.
Is it? We'll just call it the Ronnie Yoke Show.
That's all yolks.
No. Call it.
Two-step. What do you call it?
We can just call it chicken and egg or something. I don't know. I'll be egg.
I also like the steamed egg show.
Steamed egg. Yeah, keep it simple.
I think you just said that before.
Steamed egg show. And then we could have like little animated intro.
Yeah, you can animate the intro. We can have like, like Rinse FM goes, Rinse FM, steamed egg show. Maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't record it.
Steamed egg show.
That's it.
It's like, hey guys, another fun week we've had here at Steamed Egg.
What's up, guys? Listen, boys.
What's up, guys? I would just do the more episodes we do, the more crazy it gets. It's just like,
yeah, I think we need a YouTube show. To be fair, I mean, you can put clips on other channels.
Mm.
I feel like YouTube's our natural home.
And then we could like maybe every week or so, other week, we could play like a little VR game or something.
So I'm just going to put this whole thing on as the Steamed Egg Show episode 1.
Yeah, what we're doing now. Or...
Yeah, and then we can chop it down as like best bits.
Yeah,
you can put unlimited amount of stuff on YouTube, right? So you can make a series, can't you, on your channel?
Yeah, you can.
And we just call this like full cut. Is anyone going to watch this whole thing?
Well, I mean, you got to cut it down to like 15 minutes or like 20 minutes to start. And then as you develop like a following, you can get to like 40 minutes.
Got you. I don't watch videos that are more than 20 minutes anyway.
Yeah. But like, I definitely do like watch people for like 45 minutes if they're like interesting. And that's people that I've been watching for a while.
Yeah. I want to upload this one just because it'll be nice like to watch back in like the years down the line. All right, man.
Okay.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
I think
this was a good touch.
Yeah, it's a nice touch, definitely. It's a shame that neither of us can get the virtual backgrounds on Zoom to work properly, because that'd be quite cool to have like different backgrounds relevant to the things we're talking about.
We could do like news as well, like news beyond tech news that we found interesting.
Yeah, VR tech news, company culture news.
Yeah. Hey, did you hear that this and that company did this and stuff like that? Or like, oh man, I'm really looking forward to like the new iPhone. Have you seen it? It's pretty, like, just, it doesn't always have to be like so businessy.
It doesn't, but we also have to make sure we have to know why this show exists and who we're trying to tell. Yeah. A podcast is like a sales podcast or a HR podcast. So
yeah,
people go to different places for different bits, and I don't think people just want to sit and listen to us just talk.
Well, we could do different types of show. We could do like business talk. That's how we can keep it focused. If we can have and keep the videos shorter, we could have like more focused bits. So if you want,
so for example, Marquise Kabir HD, he does just tech. You just go to his channel, you're going to get tech of all types. He might do within tech this to this, but I think we need to just pick one thing. I think our thing is company culture, tech within company culture, environmental sustainability within company culture, fun within company culture, meditation within company, like under that umbrella.
Yeah, but YouTubers don't have like a second channel where they like make it less formal, and they do like play games and stuff, and people just want to see their personalities. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, less polished, basically.
They want to see like the background behind the company persona.
Yeah. So maybe we do a series where we're just like doing the chit chat.
So we could do one that's more structured, and then do a different one that's like not a different channel, just maybe just alternate the videos. So like we do one where it's structured, one where it's not structured, one where it's structured, one where it's not structured.
Yeah.
So people, there's like a balance.
Yeah.